Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. On Days of Our Lives, Chad and Jack have uncovered Abigail's empty casket, bringing them one step closer to discovering the truth. But did Clyde just take her body to screw with Chad, or is she the lady being held hostage in the drug lord's footage? That person is, of course, Annalyn McCord, who recently teased Soaps.com over whether she is truly Abigail. It may take some time before we have a definitive explanation, but Billy Flynn recently spoke with Soap Opera Digest and provided some backstory on how the tale unfolded. For one thing, he is all for bringing Abigail back because he loves her and Chad together. But personally, for me, it depends on the execution of it. As far as Flynn is aware, the notion originated with the temporary writers during the strike. However, when head writer Ron Carlivati and the normal writing staff returned, they seized the opportunity. So I'm just kind of going, okay, whatever this story is going to be, it's going to be, sighed Flynn, especially with the handoff from the temp writers to Ron. When they brought her back from the grave the last time, with Marcy Miller in charge, there was intent, Chad's character revealed. The story was created for how Abigail would return. When Marcy started, I knew it would be a big story. This time, I had no idea what it was going to be. Of course, Flynn, McCord, and the rest of the Days of Our Lives cast already know how everything will play out, as they film around 6 months in advance. But that makes sense, given that McCord told Soaps.com she was in talks to join the program around the time Carlivati and his team returned, and they weren't even sure who she'd play. Of course, we don't know if she's the actual Abigail or a forger, but solving this grave-digging riddle should be exciting. In the present, Connie claims that if Lee had said yes to her, everything would be different. Kristen hands Ava her contract in the living room of the DiMera. She will be in charge of DiMera's new asset recruitment. Ava is content with her employment, but she wants to leave as soon as possible to avoid running with Gabby. Since I slept with her husband, she says quietly. Gabby wakes up in bed and paws at a sleeping Stefan. With his eyes still closed, he grins, wondering whether he is dreaming. When he is completely awake, he tells her to stop. He is still unhappy over the news conference. Gabby believed that after months of abstinence, he would be unable to keep his hands off her. She gets up from bed in a huff. Rafe questions Marlena at the townhouse about if she believes Bobby knew anything about Lee's murder. She realizes he could be playing Jada, but she doesn't think he's harmful. She emphasizes that someone with mental illness is significantly more likely to be a victim than a perpetrator. Regardless, Rafe dislikes Jada being alone with him. At Bayview, Jada pressures Bobby for information on Lee. He recalls Connie's visit. His countenance tightens, and his eyes blink rapidly. He winces and holds his head. When he stops yelping in pain, he looks up at Jada with a shocked expression. Why do you call me Bobby? I am Everett. He glances around, perplexed, and wonders where he is. Jada runs off to find someone. In a flashback, Connie admits to Lee that she knows he's been visiting a therapist and offers to heal him. He accuses her of stalking him. She calls it caring for him. He angrily orders her to go. When she refuses, he decides to call the police. She grabs a knife and stabs him in the back. Panicking, she concludes it's not her fault because Gabby's tormenting him, with Melinda piling on, is why he rejected her. Gabby needs to see what she's done, so she texts Lee from her phone. Connie says farewell to Lee, saying they couldn't be together in life, but in death, Lee will always be hers. She begins to leave when someone knocks on the door. She hides as Gil enters to look for Ava. He gasps as he sees Lee's body. The black book falls from his grasp. As Gabby walks inside the DiMera mansion, Kristen tells Ava to keep her mouth shut about sleeping with Stefan. Kristen takes a call, leaving an apprehensive Ava alone with Gabby. Gabby shows gratitude for Ava's sacrifices to keep her safe. She's glad Stefan didn't have to go through it alone. Stefan reluctantly joins them, and Gabby departs. What the hell was that about? Stefan demands of Ava. Kristen returns to update Stefan on Ava's hiring status. She joyously insults an unimpressed Stefan. Ava signs her contract, and Kristen goes to take another call. Stefan is concerned that Kristen or Harris will tell Gabby that they slept together. Ava convinces him that Kristen likes her, and Harris leaves Salem. So do not worry. Marlena arrives after Jada has returned to Everett at Bayview. She identifies him as Everett, who is in tears. They explain how Bobby took over, but Everett claims he is back and wants to get out of there. Marlena is overjoyed with his breakthrough, but believes he should stay a few more days. Everett is determined to rehabilitate, but he has a job and a relationship to return to. He wants to feel in control again. Marlena does not believe he poses a threat to others and agrees to sign his release. When Gabby meets Rafe at the pub, he informs her of Bobby's allegations regarding Lee's death. He tells her that it will not impede her release and encourages her to focus on regaining her life. He then tells her that Abigail may still be alive. At the flat, Connie explains that she wanted Gabby to be caught standing over Lee's body. She was terrified that Gil would wreck her scheme. In a flashback, Gil crouches down to touch Lee's neck. He feels a feeble pulse but does not require this level of trouble. He picks up the black book off the floor and goes. In the present, Connie explains that if Gil had called an ambulance, Lee could still be alive. She may have gotten away with it all if it hadn't been for that pesky Bobby Stein. Everett expresses gratitude to Marlena for everything she has done. She leaves, and Everett thanks Jada as well. She inquires if he recalls talking to her about Lee Shin. He reacts with confusion. She advises him to concentrate on getting better and goes. Everett's solemn gaze turns wry when he remembers Connie proposing him the bargain. Sounds like a plan, a smug Bobby says in the now. Kristen, alone with her brother, convinces Stefan that she has no cause to inform Gabby. Even if she did, she wouldn't do it to Ava, who is quite upset about what they did. Ava wishes to remain as far away from him and Gabby as possible. After Rafe has left, Ava enters the pub. Gabby approaches and proposes bringing Gabby Chic into the DiMera fold. What do you think about working together? Outside the pub, Jada expresses her trust in Marlena's judgment and thinks Everett is ready to be on his own. Marlena says that he no longer satisfies the requirements for an involuntary hold and can do whatever he wants. Everett has returned, which makes Jada pleased, but they may never find out who killed Lee. Bobby admits that while alone at the Salem Inn, he pretended to let Everett out in order to keep Connie's secret. Now Connie needs to do her bit and get Rafe out of his way. Rafe calls Paulina from the cemetery to arrange for someone to fill the hole. He chuckles, noting that an empty grave might be deadly. Connie appears behind Rafe and whacks him on the head. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.